Right, so I wanted to try CAD Sketcher, which seems quite amazing, and it allows you to draw parametrically in Blender. So, but I know there's some installation to be done. So here's the GitHub account. Let's see. Mm, So let's just download the entire thing to the desktop. That's it. And I'm gonna be using Blender 3.2, the latest alpha from today, I think. And the first part should be just about installing the add-on as usual. So selecting the zip file from the desktop. Yeah. So I know here is where it can get complicated. So we have to install the solver module. And let's see if this works. Install from pip. Mm. Oh, it did it. Okay, well, in theory, I already have it. Uh, yeah. Okay, so let's try it out. I have a little experience with CAD, especially on using FreeCAD, but that was years ago. And let's see. So we got the Sketcher panel on the end menu. And I know this add-on uses the toolbar a lot. Let's use that. These icons have been added. So I think from here on, it's all about the Sketcher. So let's see. Add 2D point, 2D line, 2D circle, 2D arc, rectangle, and workspace. So I think we have to have a work plane because the basis of CAD is the basis of CAD is to draw in a 2D space, and then you can kind of extrude that. But add work plane on mesh face. Add work plane. Okay, so some of these items have multiple options. So if I hold click on here, for example, I see that I can add 2D point or 3D points. Here I can add a 2D line or a 3D line, and here I can add a workspace or a work plane on an existing mesh, or just add a work plane. So let's do that. And uh-oh, this is already not this is already not working. Okay. So what am I doing? Yeah, this is a little confusing. I'm gonna delete this sketch, and how can I delete this? Just like this, or no? Uh-huh. Oh boy. Right. I can always start again. right? Hmm. What if I select this? No, it's impossible to select. So this should be the solve space select. Huh. Ah, right. So I can delete stuff. Okay. What are these entries though? Wow. I think I'm gonna start over. Okay. So what I saw on the internet at first. Hey, Anjo, how are you doing? I would think there isn't a line to view or plane type of thing. Well, I saw something that is first add the sketch here, and then this is actually like a better way. So now I see why, right? So if we want to draw like in the X, Y plane, we should be able to select. Yeah, and now we are inside the sketch, and now we should be able to draw. So let's see. Let's try to do something cool. Let's start with a circle. And so another thing that I saw is that like if I stay in the add to the circle tool, I'm just gonna add more circles. So I have to go back to the this move tool if I want to move it. And since I'm working on this plane, I cannot go above, the Z axis. So yeah, pretty simple. I'm working on a 2D plane, right? So I can scale it. That's pretty damn cool. Can I cut this? No. But let's just make a bunch of holes. I know I can start adding constraints. So for example, this point can be a midpoint. Like this. Oh wait, it's not. Add 2D point. No. Do we have undo? We have undo. That's good. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna add an arc. Yeah. And then let's see if I can do an angle constraint. Hmm. How do I add an angle constraint to this? Entity 1, I'm reading over here. Entity 1, pick entity to constrain. So yeah, I want to constrain this thing. Oh my God, degrees of freedom made. So something I remember from FreeCAD is, like, I'm really not an expert in anything CAD related, but I remember in FreeCAD that something like your drawing is or your sketch is considered done when your degrees of freedom are 0. So you're trying to make a parametric drawing, and that means that you're not allowed to do things like manually because that's kind of dangerous. So you should end up with something that is only controlled by parameters, right? So I'm trying to add an angle constraint here. Because this is not an angle, maybe. Let's do a radius. Okay, well, we have some useful tooltips here. Add a distance constraint. So entity 1, pick entity to constraint. entity 2, pick entity 2 constraint. So it's a distance between two entities. And then diameter. This should work with the circle, right? Yes. Yes. Okay, we have our first constraint figured out. So you see that now I cannot change the diameter by just dragging. I have to click on the actual number. It's fantastic. So I can say 40 meters. That's awesome. And then here, what if I add a diameter to this? I think it should work. Yeah, it works. So I can make it like 42, right? So there's also ways to do lines. Oh no. The edit pencil icon, I don't know actually. Yeah, let's not go there yet. So what I'm trying to do now is to create a line between these two, so that I can add a constraint that makes them horizontal all the time or something like that. But I have a problem that if I try to add a 2D line here, this gets in the way sort of. So let's see. Oh no. So what if I just draw it like this? And then, oh my God. And then, so if I try to constrain this and, so wait, coincident? No, midpoint. So let's try to midpoint this and this. No. How do I? So this has already added a horizontal constraint of some. You see this constraint horizontal. I think it's this line. So if I delete it, now I can break it like this, which is something that I don't want. So let's add it back. Should be like this. Yeah, that's good. And then what I'm trying to do is make it so that these circles are always in this plane too, right? So tangent midpoint ratio. Equal vertical. Equal maybe. So maybe it's equal actually. Because like this should be equal to this point. No, this constraint is really getting in the way. I'm gonna get rid of those just so that I can do things, right? So this should be equal to this. No, that doesn't work. Oh my God. Well, this worked though. So this worked because midpoint apparently is not a thing. It's a constraint, a point to a line maybe, and not a point to a point. So that kind of makes sense. But what if I want this point here? So okay, so I should I should start reading the tooltips, right? So entity one can be a line, can't be a point. So let's see, coincident. Oh, maybe a distance, right? Distances work with points. So let's distance constraint this guy here. Then we set distance to 0, right? Yeah, that does it. That does it. So distance to this point, and then we set the freaking distance to 0 and force it to refresh. Hello? I broke it. I think I broke it. Oh no. Oh no. This okay, this has a an error here. Ah. So distance, this to this. Yeah. Then no. Oh my god. Well, I give up with this. I'll just do something else because Jesus. I just want a line here, maybe. And what if I want these guys to be tangential? So tangent means that this shouldn't look like this, like it's broken. It always kind of looks like a smooth joint. So here and here. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. This is beautiful, and this is something really hard to do in Blender, so already useful. Oh yeah. And like if I do a horizontal here, then look at this, so cool. Let's break the horizontal and do a an angle, right? No. Yeah, the worst. Okay. So angle should work between two lines. Yeah, only two lines. Okay, so no arc and a line. That's why it's not working. So an angle means that if I draw something like this, then I can angle constraint these guys. Yeah. And I can set, oh, okay. I'm so glad that, that's so cool. I'm so glad that undo works. Right. Oh my God, I did a thing. So let's angle constraint this at 45 degrees, maybe. So we have 7 degrees of freedom, and well, so I just really want to put this thing right in the middle. How do I, because sketches usually have like a point in the middle of the sketch, right? So how can I put this guy, constrain this guy in the middle? This is so cool. Midpoint? No, because midpoint is for a point to a line. Yeah. Parallel, vertical. No. It's gotta be distance. Yeah, I mean, it's the only choice I can see. Now we're down to 6 degrees of freedom. And I can just, yeah, make this horizontal, and we're down to 5 degrees of freedom, which is good. Now, let's do a line here, from here to the midpoint, which automatically got a horizontal thing, which is good. And now what I wanted to do is mark this line. This is something else I saw that can be done. So mark this line as a, like, not participating in the final drawing, but it's just a construction line. So yes, so right click on it and then mark it as construction. So when the geometry is generated, this is ignored. This is here so that I can constrain things. So for example, right now it's giving me this, it's making this point here, right in this position. And also I can actually like calculate or set the distance between these lines. So here, no, distance is between a point and a point. Yes, okay, so distance between, wait, diameter. So I don't actually need this line. No, I do need it, right? So distance can be between a point and another point, right? So here, let's say it's 100 meters. So we're down to 3 degrees of freedom. Now I want to draw another arc. Shoot, okay. So no, this is not good. No. No. I forgot that when you add an arc, you first define the center of the arc, and then, for example, here, and then you draw the actual arc, right? So how do we connect this guy and this guy? If we get them like really close, maybe? No. Should be like a merge thing. Well, on creation time, it's possible. These are actually 1 point. Okay. Yeah. So vertical, is vertical working with points too? No, it isn't. How do I put this here? Vertical to this point? No. No, it's not working. Okay. Well, I'll just cheat and constrain this point to the midpoint between this and this, because I need to move on. This should work, yeah. So now we have an arc that is always centered around this distance. And if I diameter constrain to this guy, this should also work. Oh man, this is annoying. Okay, this is something that is a bit annoying. Here. So diameter should be like 50 meters, right? So now this is quite constrained, only 3 degrees of freedom, and I'm gonna end this by drawing a line here. And this should, oh no. You can move your quotations, your yeah, quote. Oh boy. Sort of. So let's draw a line over here. No. From here to here. And let's make sure this is a horizontal, no, a vertical line, right? So we are down to 2 degrees of freedom, which is almost there. So I think, right, if I distance limit there's usually many ways to get down to 0 degrees of freedom. So let's make this guy's coincident, right? No, it's not working, right? A tangential, I mean. Yeah, so let's make this guy's tangential. This is pretty cool. And we are down to 1 degree of freedom, which is, I don't know. What can we move? What can we move, actually? We can move a thing. No. Four degrees of freedom. What did I do? Ah! Okay, we are back to 1 degree of freedom. Yeah. Somehow I deleted some constraints. 1 degree of freedom, but I don't know where. Oh, here it is. Somehow, maybe. You know what? I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. So let's leave the... No, let's make some... Yeah, let's leave the sketch. No! Let's go back into the sketch. And before leaving, we're gonna... Why are there 2 degrees of freedom? Oh no! Okay, so it's probably the solver doing really weird things. So this should be horizontal, right? 1 degree of freedom again. That's good. And when we leave the sketch, let's convert it to Bezier, maybe. Yeah. So if we select the Bezier, we have the usual tools. Like for example, here we should be able to bevel it and so on. So let's see, geometry, extrude by 6 meters. And bevel it. That's beautiful. And the amazing thing is that we can actually, oh man, this is so cool. We can see the overlay. So we can actually go back to edit the thing and add more stuff in it. So if I add like a circle here. Oh no, not like that. Yeah. So if I add like a circle here, and I'm gonna no, now I'm back to 4 degrees of freedom, which is bad. But I can do some stuff like this, and this automatically got a horizontal which constraint, which or vertical constraint, which already brings me back to 3 degrees of freedom. But of course, I can move this point like so. So let's do a distance constraint between this and this point, and set it to 40 or 30 degrees. Then no, 35, 36, which is my age. And then then the last one should be a diameter. And the diameter will be 36 too, right? So if we go back, this would be a hole. Yes. Oh no, what is this? What is, oh yeah, because I haven't marked this guy as a construction. That's it. So constructions are only meant for helping us constrain things that do not participate in the final construction of the geometry, which is kind of counterintuitive, I guess. What is fixed? I don't know what fixed is. And there's 1 degree of freedom left, which I have no idea. I think it is the at this point probably, but it's, I mean, sometimes the solvers have a hard time with this kind of yeah. So this point was being placed right at the midpoint of the y-axis, just because the tangent constraint between these two arcs. However, this is kind of not enough. It was kind of flimsy. So as soon as I added a line with a horizontal constraint, and I need to mark this as construction, right? Now the sketch says fully defined sketch, and this is what you want, as I remember it from my CAD tries. So if we go back, we have this beautiful thing. Then the cool thing is that everything is defined by parameters. So if I change this to 120, it means that, for example, this circle is still in the middle of this line, and which is pretty cool. Yeah, this is beautiful. Leaf sketch. That is so cool. Wow. This is the most beautiful integration I've seen in Blender. It almost looks like, I mean, it totally looks like this just comes with Blender. It's amazing. $42. So I wish I could do something about this, because I have two numbers that are really close to each other, and I don't like that. But I don't think I can actually like move them. Yeah, because this one I can like rotate the visual aid, but nothing else. So that kind of sucks. And this, yeah, this works. What if I want to separate this and convert? Yeah, I guess this is not ready yet, but it would be hard to split this into a curve. So it's this. What if I delete this guy? I cannot delete, okay, because other entities depend on it. So I don't know what that means. Probably have to delete the constraints and everything. Delete constraint. Now, can I delete this guy? No. Damn it. Yeah, well, I'm really glad we have undo, fully defined sketch, and I'm looking forward for any new features. Bye-bye.